So I can't even lie, you guys. I dyed my locks and I am pissed. Mad because I should have known better, but also just annoyed because I could have stayed red. So today we're going to be talking about some of the pros and cons of dyeing your locks. So I had my red locks for about a year, you guys, and for maintenance reasons, I was like, okay, I'm tired of this. Let me go back to the dark side so I don't have to worry about it. Joke's on me. The main reason why I ended up dyeing my hair back dark, well, you know, of course when the seasons change, the ladies want a little bit of change usually. So I did it because I missed the black. But at the same time, what really pushed me into those thoughts was the fact that the red, the maintenance that you have to keep up, I was just so over it. From the time I had dyed my hair red back last September 2022, then I dyed them again in April, and then I think that might have been it until I dyed them again in September. You know when a red fades, it just looks so damn rusty. To me, it made my hair look more dry when it got that rusty color, and I just didn't like it. So I was like, I'm tired of this. You got to keep up with this maintenance, keep dyeing it over and over again. Mind you, I use semi-permanent hair dye. I love my Adore hair dye, love it, you guys, but it's semi-permanent. It's not meant to last forever. Every time you wash your hair, it's gonna get lighter and lighter and lighter. Like, stick a red nose on me and call me crusty because duh, like, what are you thinking? So here I am dyeing my hair black, still with the same semi-permanent Adore hair dye. Not even 2 whole months later. I mean, at this point, it's November 30th. So it's past 2 months, but when I started noticing this change, it hadn't even been 2 months. Here I am with the one thing that I hate more than the rusty red locks that I completely forgot about, something that I experienced with my first set multiple times. They're turning green. They are turning green. Now, y'all know your girl loves green, but damn, that ain't what I asked for. That ain't what I wanted. I can't stand the green locks on me. It is not for me. And I'm mad because I'm just really like, I could have just stayed damn red if I was going to have to keep dyeing it over and over and over again. And now if I want to go back red, I'm going to have to do the whole lightening process again and then dye it red, and that is too much damn work. So now I'm on the dark side. And I'm loving the brown and black combo. I love it. Let me just show y'all my locks first before I keep going. I don't know if you guys can see like the green tint. I don't know with this lighting how much you guys can see. Once I'm editing this, I will insert some pictures. I look good today. Ooh, locks getting long, y'all. Locks getting long again. Now let's go ahead and start with the pros because there's only one. Be for real. It looks good, hopefully. Okay, that's really it. Let's move on. Cons of dyeing, coloring your locks. Cons of dyeing your locks, cons of coloring your locks, whatever you want to call it. Number one, let's start with the obvious. The obvious is the damage. Now, y'all can yap all y'all want, talking about how dyeing and bleaching doesn't damage your locks. But if that was the case, it wouldn't be doing its job. Let me speak on bleaching specifically. So the job of bleaching your hair, okay, is to strip the melanin away from the strands. It breaks down the strands. That's literally what it's supposed to do, which is how it lightens that color. Now, whether or not your locks are damaged after, it's up to you, and one, how you did the process, and two, of course, how you take care of your locks after. Big on the maintenance after. Some people color their locks and they come out perfectly fine. They're moisturized, beautiful, and they can keep that up. But if you are a low maintenance / lazy like me, be careful. That's how I ruined my first, I don't want to even say ruined, because my first set was still beautiful, but I had so much damage because of coloring my locks and not taking care of them after. Now this set, I'm gonna get on here and I'm gonna tell y'all to do what you're supposed to do. But that doesn't mean that I'm the perfect queen. But no, for real, I could do so much better with moisturizing. So I've been trying to really keep it moisturized over the past few days, weeks maybe. But y'all know how that goes. Some of y'all know. You really have to keep it up because that number one con being the damage and the breakage will take you out. You can possibly lose locks. You can possibly lose some of the ends of your locks. I got one really skinny end. This right here, if I don't moisturize and take care of this bad boy, it's gonna break off. There's been times where I've been touching on it and I've wanted to pull it off, honestly, but I've kept my control. But it's really not even that damn skinny for me to be trying to pull it off. You just have to be really, really careful. That is the number one con when it comes to dyeing your locks. Number two is the upkeep, the keeping up with the maintenance. You can't just dye your locks and expect just to take its own course. Like, you know, unless that's what you want. Some people do dye them and they'll just let it grow out, and you know, they can use that to measure the growth, the length, which is great, beautiful. But if you want to maintain that color that you dyed your locks, don't expect to just dye them once and then that's it forever. You got to keep on. It's a continuous routine. Now, depending on what dye you use and your preferences on the vibrancy of the color, you can stretch it out. I don't know how long, you know, you can go. I usually use Adore hair dye, so I can only, you know, go off of that. Of course, I've used permanent before. With this current set, the only permanent dye I've used was the bright blonde that I used to dye my hair to go red. Actually, I did dye my hair the bright blonde and just kept it like that for a while. It's gonna last because the job is done with that. A semi-permanent color like Adore is, the job is not done. It's just a temporary job. Depending on what dye and everything, you're gonna have to keep it up. And dyeing your hair can be a super messy process. It's really a dreadful process to me, but you gotta do what you gotta do for the look that you want. So that is number 3 on the cons list of coloring your locks. It can be super messy. Now, I'll say at this point they're not really in order, but number 1 remains number 1, and that's the damage. But number 3, it can just be really, really messy, especially if you're doing it yourself. That's that, you know, bathroom walls, you got to be careful, all those things, especially if you're dyeing your hair black. I made a huge mess in my bathroom this last time, which I was very shocked at because I thought I was taking my normal precautions. But me and my friend were dyeing our locks together, and I think just me being confined and trying not to do too much and give her space, I ended up making a big mess. Anyway, let's move on to number 4. Number 4 should have been number 2. It can be hard. It can be super hard to dye your locks on your own. If you are not confident enough, or if you are nervous, do not do it on your own because you can tear that shit up. I won't lie. If you leave it on too long, a certain type, you can burn your hair off, damage your hair, break it off. You can burn your head too. It can come out really splotchy and blotchy because, especially the thicker locks, if you have thicker locks, it can be harder to make sure that you're covering your bases. So you really want to make sure that you don't have spots everywhere. Like one spot you got brown here, the next spot you got, you done dyed them purple, and you got purple here, purple, brown, and it's just different all around. You know, so you just really have to be ready and do some research. I'm telling you, trial and error. I learned from so many mistakes on my last set. With this set, even down from like when you dye your roots very, very first, they're gonna be super, super bright. That's how people end up with those really vibrant, bright roots. And it's because they slapped it on their roots first, and the roots takes the less amount of time to process usually. Because your roots, they're not locked up. This hair is free. It doesn't really need to do much to penetrate or to get in there. But this down here is gonna take a little bit more. So if you slap it on them roots first, they're gonna be bright burnt red up here and then burgundy down here. Possibly. This is all possibly. This is just letting you guys know the real, okay? Please seek professional help if you do not believe that you can confidently and safely dye your locks on your own. It is not a joke, and you can't just be dyeing your locks left and right, left and right, left and right. As you guys know, our hair is a lot more fragile than loose natural, and I say that in a sense because loose natural, if they dye their hair, they can slap conditioner, lather, slap conditioner all in it, all types of products to help it retain that moisture. You guys know that we have to be mindful of the products that we're using because we do not want buildup. Please don't have beautiful, fresh looking locks, but on the inside, they're full of shit. Don't do that. It's really not worth it. So if you do not believe in yourself and dyeing your locks, leave it be, baby. Nothing wrong with natural. The natural is where it's at, okay? The locks that I dyed brown, and that's the thing when you have like lightened hair, and I don't know why the black turns green. I think it's just some type of counter reaction between maybe it being blonde before, or maybe even the red, and now when it fades, it just turns green. I don't know, but it's hideous. The brown's not fading at all. The brown with the semi-permanent is straight right now. I have some more videos on dyeing your locks and pros and cons and things like that. I actually have a whole playlist for coloring your locks. I know I'm switching between coloring and dyeing because it sounds crazy when you say dyeing, just be sounding crazy sometimes, but that's what I'm used to saying. Do some research, please, and decide on your own if dyeing your locks is for you. You can make that decision. Hopefully you make the best choice and it comes out beautiful if you do, but just know that it does not end there. Some type of maintenance will be back, okay? But that's all, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you check out these videos on what to expect in the first year of your lock journey if you are starting out. And make sure that you like the video, leave a comment down below, and subscribe. And I will see you for the next video.